Hello, beautiful people. My name is Dejanir, and this is my first artist studio chit chat. And I hope you're well. I hope you're thriving. And if you've been feeling disconnected from everything, this video is for you. So lately, I've really been thinking about what it looks like to outgrow things. Maybe my fellow perfectionists and honor roll students can connect with this. Is that you graduate college, you buy the car, you get the job, you kind of check mark these items that you feel like makes you successful. And a lot of times when we're younger and we kind of like go through this checklist and we've checked off maybe all of the things, we get to this point where now we feel lost. Now we feel lost in a sense. Once I bought my house, I just kind of felt like, okay, now what? And I think since then, I've been realizing that there kind of is no apex to life. There is just growth, and there's more growth, and there's healing, and there's living, and there's finding a flow. There's doing a lot of that inner work. And I definitely feel like being that honor roll student, being the first daughter, being all these different intersectionalities, I felt like I continued to go for the physical success, and I was skipping over the inner healing, the work that takes place when you don't have an audience, the work that you can't really measure, the work that no one sees and no one really truly understands but you. That work is where the real growth happens. And I'm finally understanding when you hear the phrase, I want my peace. You hear that phrase thrown around so much. I feel like a lot of people use it in the context as like it applying to romantic relationships, but it's so much more than that. Wanting your peace is saying no to the things that don't align, even though they look shiny, and then saying no to the shiny things, even though they look exciting. It's healing. It's the, I learned my lesson from that thing. So this A, B, and C looks like the A, B, and C from like 5 years ago. So I'm not going to repeat that thing. Do this thing. So maybe I should do it. You want to be the good friend. So you do things for your friends that you don't always get back because you don't want to be seen as the bad person, right? Or you're the good daughter, or you're the good student. You do all of these different things that connects to that label because that's who you want to be and that's who you want people to see you as. But the truth is, a lot of times people do not care. I felt like I had been resisting this part for a while because I didn't want to have to deal with it alone. And I wanted that accountability partner. I wanted that friend. I wanted that person to just come down and be like, it's going to be all right. Let me hold your hand. When you have to be that person to hold your own hand. You have to be that person that is like, okay, Deja, like, let's do this. Okay, I'm proud of you today. You made healthy choices today. You didn't binge eat today. You know, you didn't eat that chocolate bar. You know, you didn't eat multiple chocolate bars. Not speaking from personal experience, you know, you really have to show up for yourself. If you want to get to that next step, whatever it is, and you're like, ugh, I've been, for the past like 3 years, I've been wanting to get to this point, but I don't know why I can't be consistent. But I don't know why it's so hard for me to show up day after day and just stick to the routine. I don't know why I put things on my to-do list and then I just procrastinate and I don't do it. It's because it's time for you to turn inward, and whatever person that you think you need, it's time to go through whatever discomfort, whatever loneliness, whatever it is that you're currently dealing with or that you feel like you need in order to make it to that next step. Some moments of this is going to fucking suck. But you know what? I want to be that woman in 5 years. That woman that I see in my head, I have to do these steps in order to get to be to that woman or that man or that person. When you're kind of in a phase where you're growing and you're going from, you know, one version of yourself to the next, it's like it's that in between phase, and I call it the gray zone. And I feel like I've been going through that for about the past year. I feel like last year so many very pivotal moments was happening for me that going into this year, I was just like, I have to do something different because I feel burnt out. I feel tired of doing the same things. And when you're in that phase, or when it's time for you to like be pushed into discomfort in order to grow, you feel detached, you feel disconnected, and also alone. You know, oh my goodness, it's so interesting because God, the universe, whatever you believe in, I feel like when it's your moment to really grow and be in that phase, things will not work out to remind you that it's time for you to sit in this. And even when you be like, oh, but okay, maybe, like just a little bit, like let me dabble in this thing, right? It's gonna just be like unforeseen things are going to happen to stop other things from happening so that you can do what you said you were going to do. This is an art studio chit chat, you know? And all of what I just said, all of what I just talked about is what inspired this piece here. And so this is still a work in progress, but this painting is about that gray zone that I was talking about, that transitional period when you're going from your current version to the next version of yourself. And I feel like when I think about that gray zone, I think about this visual here being oversized, you know, crammed into this cuticle space with gray walls. It's very bland, but those excitement parts are coming out. But when I decide to leave this space, look what's waiting for me. This bright blue sky. You know, those opportunities, those things that align, those relationships that align, those friendship groups that reciprocate energy and just feel safe. Those things that align are waiting for you on the other side. When you're ready to be like, let's be uncomfortable. Let's be uncomfortable for a few months, for 6 months, for a year. It's time for me to be uncomfortable because this space is not forever. And that's what this piece is about. Like, there's these just little bursts of personality and excitement that are coming through, and those are reminders that, like, to keep going, to push through it, to not allow yourself to get stuck, but to keep working through it. So, you know, when you outgrow things, it isn't this dramatic, like, you know, it's not like a game, right? Where you clearly see, oh, I've challenge 1 complete, challenge 2, and you can see how many lives you have. But it's much more quiet and subtle, and you kind of just run into it sometimes. I wrote down here, it's putting people in their proper place. It's releasing habits that once comforted you. It's changing the way you think. It's trusting yourself more than you used to. And sometimes it means accepting loneliness. Not because you're unlovable, but because what's coming next requires you to be locked in. Think about that. And so, my healing comes from my art. I do a lot of art involving myself that is working through just life things that come up. And many times I feel like when I'm going through certain experiences, I just get these visuals, like Raven Baxter when she just like got the psychic thing happening just randomly. I feel like the same happens to me, but with visuals. This was the visual that popped up for me, and it's so interesting that when I started it, I was naming it imposter, of feeling like you're in a place that you don't belong, and how that feels. And that's kind of how, you know, I was feeling at the time it first started. But as I've been painting it and I've been going through life and, you know, realizing things, I'm like, wow, you know, this piece is really about growth. And this piece is really about when you're in that transition phase, the gray zone. If you're in the gray zone right now, don't panic. You're not stuck. It's okay. You're going to live. It just means that you're evolving. And so with that, sending you all love and hugs, and let's see, what's a word? If you made it to the end of this video, comment blue sky in the comments and let me know what you think about this format. Let me know what you think about me kind of tying in lessons to the work, or if you want to see more of my process with the work, just let me know. And like, comment, subscribe, and sending you all love and hugs, and have a beautiful day. Bye.